Hello, my name is Marcella Ferrara, and today I'm going to be talking about useful and helpful information from the communication playbook that I found important. And the reason why I'm sharing this is because I think it's important to have certain communication skills, especially when you go to things such as job interviews or internships. And so today I'm going to be talking about three things, and that is persuading effectively, technology's influence on listening and critical thinking, and also the reasonings behind communication. So, a story that I have to tell is how I used what I learned from the communication book into persuading my mother into allowing me to dye my hair blonde. And this actually took a long time to do, and I'm very shocked that she agreed to do it. But I went blonde. Not anymore. Didn't really like the results, but that's not the main point. And I have a quote, and it says, "Whatever your persuasive goal, it is the attitude, belief, and values of the person on the receiving end of your persuasive appeals that you rely on to frame and support your case." And that's from chapter 15. And to start off, we are going to be talking about persuading effectively. And so when learning on how to persuade effectively, it's super important that you understand how to be able to control the emotions of your audience members. You want to be able to make them think and feel a certain way that is to your favor. Also, what's important is that you answer all three questions, and that is, what response do I want from the audience members? What would I like the audience members to think or act differently? And also, which of their attitudes or beliefs am I trying to change? And if you're able to answer all these three questions, I think you'll be able to persuade effectively to whatever you're trying to get out of it. It is also important that you're personable, you have a good character, and that you're also knowledgeable on whatever it is that you're talking about. Because if your audience doesn't think that you're those three things, they're not going to be able to trust what you're trying to say to them or feel that you know anything about what you're talking about. So the next thing that we're going to be talking about is technology's influence on listening and critical thinking. And according to the communication playbook, and I truly do think that is true, is that our attention span is shrinking. When you see now on pretty much any industry, all of commercials or anything that you find online is much shorter than what they used to be. Commercials are now 10 to 15 seconds long because they're afraid that if they go any longer than that you're not going to be paying attention to anything that there is that they're trying to sell to you. Also, we are being overstimulated from technology. We're no longer able to tell the difference between fact and fiction. With all of these sources all over the internet and everyone saying different things, it's hard to know what is true and what's not true. And also, 52% of students have admitted to be texting other students that are in the same classroom. And I think it's really important to admit to yourself that we are taking technology way too far and we're no longer communicating face to face, even when we're in the same room as the other person. So I think it's important to have some technology-free zones and to try to get off your phone as much as possible to distance yourself from technology. When you search things on Google, for example, and let's say it's a jump rope, you search up the Google for a jump rope, you go on Facebook, and what do you see? An advertisement for a jump rope. This just shows how much technology has over us and how much they're trying to make us buy from them. And I think it's important to be aware of that and to not fall for their traps. So the next thing we're going to be talking about is the reasoning behind communication. Communication is a huge factor in our everyday lives, and you communicate basically every second of your day. And you have to understand that when you're communicating, you're gaining self-understanding and insight onto others. You learn how to trust and how not to trust other people from different experiences that you go through. You learn how to resolve conflicts and problems from communication. And if you didn't communicate, you wouldn't understand how feelings work, anything. What's also important from communication is career development. Your employer is not going to want someone who doesn't have good communication skills when it comes to their customers. They want someone who is bright and energetic and friendly when they're talking to customers. There is a positive rate between good communication skills and employment, and I think it's super important to be able to understand that. And to end this, I would just like to say that I hope you're able to get some insight and information on communication skills and why that it's important. And I just want to restate my main purposes, and that is persuading effectively, technology's influence on critical thinking and listening, and also the reasoning behind communication. Thank you.